Hey, what's up guys? Silver Slayer. We're back for another video. As you can tell, I'm very excited today because we are finally at the very special video I have been talking about, and actually it's not just one video. This is going to be a 4-part video series called The Complete Guide to Silver Stacking. So I am going to go over 4 different sections, 4 different parts, 4 different videos, starting from the basics of silver stacking, talking about terms, just the basic things, and then the second video will go a little deeper into buying and selling. The third part will go into a little bit of diversity, talking about other things, and the fourth will just wrap up and get a little deeper into the silver buying, investing, selling, collecting world. And I'm just very excited to make this series, because I feel like this 4-part video series will help out anybody to just get a foundation on what to do when you want to get into buying silver. This is directed mainly towards beginners, people who are starting to get into this, but this can help out any type of stacker, because this is not just an informational video on me. This is a community that's going to be sharing in the comment section, talking about it, throwing your ideas out there, throwing your perspectives. I'm going to be, refreshing some of your comments. I'll bring up some of your content and your theories and just your experiences as well. So this is just a 4-part video series for all of us to just join together and just share information and just have fun and just admire the beauty of silver all together. So before we start this video though, I want to shout out one person in particular. His name is Silver Gold Stacker. I will post his link in the description of this video. You guys need to go check him out. He just made his channel. He posted a full stack. His first video, by the way, this is his first video. He just started stacking a couple months ago. He posted a full stack video of 1,400 ounces of silver and 8 ounces of gold. And he has a prime example of what a perfect stack looks like in my eyes. He has his core stack of eagles, he has pandas, he has everything. And if you guys want to know what a good stack looks like, in my opinion, because there's no right or wrong way to stack, but in my opinion, that guy's stack is flawless. So definitely go. I will post the link to the video in this description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him and just show him some support, because he sent me a very gracious comment letting me know that I helped him out a lot along the way, and it's just it really makes me feel good that I'm able to inspire others and lead other people on the right track. So just a little intro to this series so there's no confusion. Everything that I'm talking about is going over my perspective and my opinions on things. These are not right or wrong ways to stack. There is no right or wrong way. I am not telling you in any way, shape, or form how to buy or sell. I'm just sharing information and my own personal experiences. So this first video is going to be mainly talking about terms and types of stackers and how to stack, like different ways you can stack. So this is all just information I'm going to be sharing for you guys, and you guys can take whatever you want out of it and do what you want. I'm not telling you there is any right or wrong way, and I'm not trying to sway you into buying a certain type of way, because this is such a personal journey that everyone's going to like different things. Everyone has different financial situations. Everyone has different exit strategies. Everyone has different timelines they're going to sell in the future. So just everyone lives in different locations where they can access certain coins. So, I mean, it's completely up to you guys, and that's another beauty of this. So, one last thing before we start talking about some of these key terms, I just want you guys to know that to make this video a little more special, I want you guys to comment in the comment section below a little bit about yourself and what started you on your silver stacking journey. So for me, it was as a kid growing up, I really looked up to my grandpa, and he went metal detecting hunting with his friends a lot, and he had under his bed he used to have this really cool cigar box of old, silver coins, old world coins, stuff like this that he would find in the ground, and he would give every year, like around Christmas time or for my birthday, he would give me a couple coins, and I just thought it was so cool that I had like a piece of history, and I loved the artwork and hearing what country it came from, or just learning about silver. And he found it out of the ground. It was buried there for so many years or centuries, and it was just so fascinating, and that kind of sparked my interest until I got older enough to understand, hey, this can actually be really beneficial. There's actually a lot of things to silver that have going for it, and it's actually very valuable. So that was my little entrance into appreciating silver, but not only just silver, also coins in general, currency, banknotes. As you can see over here, I'll kind of pan over. I have tons of world banknotes, and the artwork on some of these, like this is one of my favorites right here. Just like the design on these, it's just amazing. And it's not just about buying silver for the metal content, but it's a lot deeper than that. I love the designs on some of these coins. Like, you guys know, my pandas are some of my favorite coins. Just the history, and so it's a lot more than just buying silver. It's a hobby to me. I'm a collector. I love it. It's my passion. So leave a comment in the comment section below, kind of telling me your guys' journey. I want to see, where you guys came from, how it started. I want to see your passion as well. And that's another good way for you guys to meet each other in the comments, so you guys can read through in the comment section as well and see what you guys wrote. And maybe some people have certain stories, or someone has a fascinating, really heartfelt story, and you guys can comment and say, hey, I had the same experience, or that sounded really cool. And you guys can also interact and link up and subscribe to each other's channels as well. So I just want to make this more of like a really community-based atmosphere. So I know these videos are going to be very long because this is a very detailed 4-part video series, but this first video is going to be a little longer just because I had to do this little introduction to set, the tone of this series, and just explain things a little deeper. So now we are going to start to the video. So part 1, we're talking about terms, types of silver, and types of stackers. So the first term that everyone should know when you're talking about silver is spot price. Now, spot price is the price that what silver is going for. So every day spot price changes a little bit. Sometimes it's a couple cents up or down. Sometimes it's a 60-cent change. Like recently, there's a pretty dramatic change. But spot price is the price of silver. So if you were going to go buy a coin or sell a coin, it's gonna be based off of spot price if it's a bullion coin. If it's a coin for just the metal content, a lot of it is based around spot price. So if you were gonna buy, let's say you wanted to buy an ounce of silver, you just wanted to buy the ounce just for the weight of having 1 ounce of silver, you're going to want to get that ounce as close to spot price as possible, because that's the current price of silver. That's what it's going for, so you want to get it around that price. Now, usually you don't get it at spot price, because your local coin shop or the online dealer has to mark the silver up a little bit. But depending on the type of silver it is, I'll be going over this a little bit later. Depending on the type of silver, you can get it closer to spot. So if you want to be a stacker that's just stacking for the weight, you just want to get as many ounces as possible, all of your purchases should be you should be trying to get as near to spot as possible. So the second term is bullion. Now, bullion is strictly just weight. Bullion is talking about the weight of the silver. Bullion is the type of silver you're going to be buying to get close to spot. Now, some types of bullion are, junk silver, Eagles and maples are considered bullion if they aren't, like these aren't considered bullion because there's certain things to the coins I will be explaining. But like bullion would be like this eagle's considered bullion. It's bought as there's just the weight of the silver. There's nothing special going on to it. A lot of bars are bullion, but there's also certain bars that have premiums, which I'll be talking about. I feel like a lot of what I'm saying, like if you guys don't know some of the terms, I'm gonna have to keep saying, like I'll be talking about this, but just try to hang on with me. So bullion is just for weight. Is basically just buying the chunk of silver for the chunk of silver and no collector value, nothing special about it. So then there is numismatic value. That's another term, and numismatic value is pretty much the collector side of a coin. Now, coins that have numismatic value have something special going for them. Let's say they have a lower mintage. They have like a privy mark. I'll explain what a privy mark is, but they have like something going where it's in a series. It's a 10-year series, or it's a coin that the design changes every year, so people like to collect every year to see the different designs that come out. Or let's say it's a graded coin, it has a really high grade, or something along those lines, that where the coin isn't just bought for spot price, but people are willing to pay a price above spot that makes the coin more valuable than just what spot price is. So if you're buying a coin with numismatic value, even if spot price drops down, that coin will still hold the numismatic value because collectors are still willing to pay the high price because there is more going for the coin than just the metal content. So another term is constitutional silver. That's what this junk silver is that I was talking about. Constitutional silver is pre-1965. They have different countries. Canada has some 80% silver as well, but people usually call it junk silver. It's all silver that's before 1965 that's 90%. They do make 40% nickels and stuff like that, and some of the Kennedys also. But junk silver, also called constitutional silver, it can be bought as bullion, where you can get it for pretty cheap, but some of the coins do have a numismatic value if they're key dates or stuff like that. So when you're buying junk silver, since it's 90%, it's not viewed in troy ounces the same way as, if you went to buy 1 ounce off your local coin shop of a troy ounce, then it's pretty easy to determine, that if the coin is a good price or not, because it's sold as the pure silver. With constitutional silver, it is a little more confusing. So if you want to know exactly how much silver you're getting when you see a whole bunch of coins, all you do is you add up the face value. So we'll do this right here. So let's say you have a dollar face. You would do 1.00 times 0.715, and that will show you exactly how much silver. So then you can see if the price is a good price for you to pay, if you're willing to pay that. So it's called face value. So if you have $5 face, you would do 5.00 times 0.715. Whatever that number is how many ounces of actual silver you're buying. So you can compare that to the price of the $5 face and see if that's a good price to buy at. So it can be a little confusing, but it really isn't if you know that formula to use. And just remember to keep in mind that it is 90%. So anyways, by the way, a lot of these videos, I've made specific videos on all these different subjects. This is just a universal collab of all the information I've pretty much gone over and a little bit of new information into one video. So because a lot of the videos that I've done have been a while back, and I've gained a lot of new subscribers lately, so a lot of people haven't seen or learned some of the information that I've put out there. So next up is premiums. A premium on a coin is the price above spot. So remember how we talked about spot price is what silver is currently going for? So if a coin, let's say spot price is $18 right now, this panda is going for $26. So that means the price from the between $18 and $26, that's the premium of that coin. So that means that coin has an $8 premium, because this coin isn't just a bullion coin. It's not seen as just bullion. There's a collector value to it, and people are willing to pay that because that, you know, for several different reasons. But premiums are just when coins have more of a value than just the current spot price. So coins versus rounds. When we're talking about coins, a lot of coins are not coins. I mean, you can call them coins and they look like coins, but they're actually considered rounds because they don't have legal tender. They don't have, you can't actually spend them. Like, this is actual $1 face value I could spend in America. If I wanted to go buy, you know, a thing of gum from the store that was $1, I can actually go spend this as legal tender, and it has $1. See how it says $1 right there? It's actual legal tender. That makes it considered an actual coin. A round may look like a coin, but you can't actually spend it. It's not legal tender. It just looks like the coin. And rounds are usually, you know, generic silver made from private mints. So that's the difference between a coin and a round. Poured silver casts a little more of a premium most of the time compared to just normal generic bars like your Sunshine Mint, because poured bars are handmade from someone actually melting down silver shot, and, you know, in their backyard or in their garage, and they hand make it. And poured bars can have a little bit of a numismatic value, how I was talking about. So when you hear poured silver, just know that it looks a little more, you know, gritty and rough, and usually it's stamped in there from, you know, a private mint, or, you know, someone that, you know, is into that types of stuff. And a casted bar, or like a normal bar, is more professional looking. It's made from an actual mint, you know. It's very, you know, the edges are very sharp. It doesn't have that treasury type of look or feel to it. So mintage numbers, that means how many coins were made this year. So, you know, like let's say the American Eagles had a mintage of 2 million coins. I don't know the exact mintage numbers this year, but the mintage number just means how many coins were made that specific year, and you can use that to see if a coin has potential to do good in the future. So let's say these Libertads, let's see if I can find a Libertad somewhere. Here we go. This is a 2014 Libertad. So this year had a little bit lower mintage numbers than let's say 2016. So this coin, the year 2014, this coin will appreciate in value a little bit more than, let's say, the 2016 and the 2015, because there's lower mintage numbers, which means, you know, they made less that year, so they're a little bit more rare to find. So privy marks. This is a privy mark right here. This one is horse privy. It's just a certain marking on coins to make them a little more of a collector value, a little more rare, and it can cause the coin to appreciate in value more because there's less mintage numbers and just a little harder to get a hold of. Like, here's another another privy mark. This is the rooster privy, which is this year. It's the lunar year of the rooster, 2017 is. So all the privies on most 2017 coins will be roosters. So those are all the Chinese lunar years as well. So BU, when you hear of BU, BU does not mean bullion. When you see a coin that is in BU, if it says, like APMEX says, you know, 2017 American Eagles BU, that does not mean bullion. BU means brilliant uncirculated, which means that coin has never been touched by human hands, and it's straight off the press into a sleeve or a capsule, and you know, that's just the perfect condition that it's in. So you'll also hear these things on graded coins called MS or PF. MS means mint state, and 70 is the highest grade on a coin you can get. So if it's in 70, that means that coin is in perfect condition. But they also make 60, they make all the way down to, you know, really low. So it just depends on the grade of the coin. As you can see, this coin still looks like it's in perfect condition. even though it's a 69. So, you know, it's really hard to tell on some of these coins, but usually 69 and 70 are near flawless coins. But there's also PF, which means proof. So you see how that one, it doesn't say MS, which stands for mint state. This says PF, which means it's a proof. And proof is when it's shiny. It's a type of finish that's on the coin. So there's also, when we're talking about graded coins, there's NGC and PCGS, which are the two most popular grading places, grading mints. NGC, this is the NGC, as you can see, and that all their slabs look pretty much the same. They're all this like white back usually. You know, it says NGC right there, says the grade. But there's also PCGS, which is this, and they do actually have a little bit different of a grading system. To each his own on that. Some people, you know, will say that PCGS has a harder grading, and some people say NGC does. It's really, you know, it's personal opinion, but those are just the two main grading services. But there is several different grading services, and if you want, you actually can you can have a membership on NGC or PCGS, and you can send coins in. So let's say I wanted to get this 2017 Panda graded, I can send it. I can pay a monthly fee or a yearly fee on NGC and send my coins in, and I will receive them in the slab, and they will determine what the grade of the coin is, which is actually pretty cool. So when we're talking about stackers, we kind of already went over this. There's pretty much two different types of stackers. I mean, I guess you can say there's a little bit more than that, but there's two main types of stackers. There's bullion stackers, and then there's numismatic stackers. So the basic way to talk about this is a stack and hold stacker or a stack and flip stacker. And bullion stackers buy, as I said in the beginning, they buy coins for weight. A lot of bullion stackers will buy a lot of eagles, generic bars, generic rounds, a lot of junk silver. They just buy silver for weight, and they want to hold onto that silver until spot price goes up. You know, let's say like the economy crashes and silver reaches $200 an ounce. The bullion stackers will then cash in. It's basically just all weight, and they buy all their silver as close to spot as possible. But there's also numismatic stackers, which are more of collectors. They buy coins, and within a couple years they flip them and reinvest into more silver. So a lot of numismatic stackers, they will buy, let's say this is a perfect coin for example. This coin I bought for $99 on Modern Coin Mart. I bought it for $99, and within a couple months now it is going for about $180. The only place you can find it for that cheap is Modern Coin Mart, and they're selling it for $180. So a stack and flip stacker, which is a numismatic stacker for, like, you know, the collector, they would have sold this coin, took the $80 profit, and reinvested into more coins like this with their $180. And they just do this rinse repeat process. And there's those types of stackers, but then you also have, like I said, the bullion stackers who don't sell any silver. They buy it, they stick onto it, they hold it. And then there's also a little bit of a community that diversifies, which actually is a pretty large portion of the silver world, who buys a little bit of everything, because there's pros and cons to both. As you can see, my stack, this isn't all of my stack, but it is a good portion of it. A lot of my stack is diversified into, I have graded coins, I have junk silver, I have bullion, I have a little bit of gold even. I have a little bit of everything, and that's just me diversifying within myself, because there is pros and cons to both. So some of the pros that are with bullion is you can get several ounces for a very good price, and you know, you can get, you're paying less for your silver. A lot of people say silver is silver, so if that's how you view it, then you know you're spending a lot less money for more ounces. But some of the cons to that with a bullion stacker are, if spot goes down, then so does your silver. So if you have a whole bunch of, junk silver and a whole bunch of generic bars and stuff, and spot drops $2, that means your whole entire stack just took a dip as well. But with a numismatic stack, with a collector, their stack still held the same value because the coins aren't just looked at for their weight. They have a collector value to them. So that's kind of their security. It doesn't matter what the markets really do for them, because no matter what, their coins are still holding value. So that's why I think it's very beneficial to diversify, because no matter what, your stack is at a good place, and there's a win-win to both sides, and no matter what, some part of your stack is going to be beneficial. So I think that's going to be the first part of the series. I know this video is really long. There's a lot of information. I hope you guys watched this whole first part. Make sure you guys leave a comment below. Make sure you like this video. Subscribe to stick with this series, and subscribe to check out more content like this in the future. I try to post daily videos, so make sure you guys post a comment below. Let me know what you think. Make sure you guys tell me what your journey is, so we can all get to know each other and make this a community, because we are a community, and it might be a small community, but we can still make it strong, and we can still help each other out. So thank you guys for watching. It's Silver Slayer. I will see you guys for part 2. Peace.